Are we alone in this universe? Wow, what a crazy way to start off the video. Well, this video is just what I'm going to call shower thoughts. So let's just get straight into it. Are we alone in this universe? Well, I would say yes, and here's the thing. Whenever people talk about this subject, they usually fall into two categories. Whether life exists outside of our planet or does civilized life exist outside the planet? Because everyone almost universally agrees that there at least has to be some form of life outside of Earth. But whether that life is civilized is another conversation in itself. I'm leaning towards yes, and here's why. One, the universe is absolutely ginormous. Like, literally, there's some parts of the universe that are so large that we cannot comprehend. Like, the observable universe that we know of now, which is already just absolutely insane. Just picture that, but just so much more bigger than we could possibly imagine. So, if we're taking all of that, there's no doubt in my mind that we, as humans, are not the only people in this universe. Or, at least life. Because civilized life, obviously, is a different question in itself. First of all, we have to define what civilized life is. We interpret it as, a being or an organism, some kind that, is able to interpret, stuff with their thoughts, have a sense of morality in them, and generally just is able to live a life that they can reflect on themselves. That is what we consider a civilized life. And also, typically, life that involves a intelligent life is one that involves, being able to communicate with each other and all that stuff. Well, we as humans have been able to interpret it as that, but maybe other life does exist, but they don't communicate in that same way. They don't communicate like how me and you are communicating right now. They might not be able to judge themselves on morality scale that we have placed upon ourselves. So if we were to ever encounter intelligent life, thinking, how will we even know? Because we never know we still don't know how much of the universe does work, and there was a bug, honestly, but we don't know how exactly every aspect of the universe. So understanding intelligent life may be difficult to do, which is why maybe we haven't discovered it, and also by the fact that maybe intelligent life is light years away from us, to the point where obviously finding it before they find us is more likely the situation. And if they were to find us, of course, there's no doubt in my mind that they would be more intelligent than us and advanced by us. Or maybe they won't, because you never know how their minds and their actions correlate. Because sure, if aliens were to get to us first, that it means that they're more intelligent, right? Well, maybe it was just a fluke in how they were able to travel to Earth. I know it sounds crazy, but that's because it's crazy to us. Maybe not as crazy to them that they were able to travel distantly the planets like us without actually having the intelligence needed for that. I'm not saying aliens are not intelligent, so please don't attack us, aliens, goddamn. But that's just a thought to think about. That if we were to ever encounter intelligent life, even though people say intelligent life has been around Earth, which I don't think is true. Come on now, we definitely would have noticed it by now. But if we were ever to encounter them, or they were to encounter us, I wouldn't be able to predict how the interaction would go, because who knows how their operations are as beings, how they operate as beings compared to how we operate. Because we can be like, hey, let's strike an agreement with the aliens, but they might not, be able to communicate in that manner, or communicate in a different manner. That's why I think alien life will be very unpredictable if we actually encounter it, and not just some arbitrary belief or lie we've been told on media. This kind of correlates to space also, but also just the world itself, more about us as human beings. And that is how much experience you can have in this world. Because if you take the life of a businessman, CEO who lives in upstate New York, compared to a small countryman living in Japan or something, those are two completely different lives, and it's crazy how different you can experience life from those, just from two different perspectives alone. And just the amount of knowledge you can receive, like just even the simple things, which may not even be simple to them, like being a floor mat installer, a vacuum cleaner, being a vacuum cleaner, no, being a mat cleaner, like a car wash cleaner, all those type of jobs that require at least a little bit of knowledge. It's crazy that how you can find different, I guess the word I'm looking for is like different perspectives on how they live their lives. They live their lives according to what they need, which is to provide, mostly to provide for their families. And it's crazy to believe that life can be so varying on different levels, which is honestly good because you can have your own individualized life that you can live. Now, I think it's even more crazy, and this is coming from me being, almost 18, but not quite, that how I could be, that living a life like that is not too far off from what I might be doing in the future. I've decided I'm majoring in business, going to college, and hopefully finding a job from that, or at least starting my own business, or continuing my dad's business, but somewhere around that field. And obviously, most of that revolves around having a daily routine, going to work, doing all I need to do, and it's not saying it's limiting that type of life, but also it's just kind of crazy how we perceive those lives as something distant from us, but in reality they might become a reality soon. And obviously this is something that more relates to people still in school, still who are considering what they're going to do with their lives. And obviously it's fine that you don't know what to do, like you still have plenty of time. But yeah, it's crazy to think how much life I guess I haven't experienced. I guess the amount of the amount of hardships people experience during work, vacations that people go on, experiences that you may never see. Like in the future, honestly, one day I hope to go travel the world because I want to experience what other people experience around the world, different cultures, different ideologies, because that's another thing. Living in different countries, like the different lives people live on different countries is absolutely insane, because their way of life, their beliefs, everything can completely change comparatively from the United States to a country like Japan or Iran, Australia. It's crazy to believe that life can be so different and that you're not experiencing all of that, and that's just pretty crazy to me if you think about it. You'll never experience being a guitarist if you, or being a professional cook, or being a construction worker, which is crazy to believe. Obviously some of you will, but most of us won't. And the same thing, most of you won't experience being an astronaut or going to Mars. Experiences like that. I just think it's crazy that most people will not live the experiences that 99% of the that few people do, I guess. It's just a crazy thought. Shower thought even. Final thought I have for this video relates to technology. Moreover, how do they make it? Like, honestly, how is that even possible? Because I will look at stuff like AI, and I just think, how is it possible people created this? I know, maybe just coming from a dumb animal brain perspective, but, like, how do you just make stuff out of nothing? Like, let's just say you're plopped into, like, a random, Minecraft sandbox world. How do you make technology? Like, how do humans go to create that stuff? Like, I know it was like one process at a time, but like, it's just kind of crazy to think about. Like, how did humans build all these things? How they build buildings that high? They just knew, which is just crazy to think about. I mean, there's not much to this thought, but like, just how did people make stuff so crazy? You know, like the iPhone. You know, a Chromebook. Why am I saying a Chromebook? Like specifically that, a computer. I don't know how those made, bro. Like, I specifically don't know the specifics of what makes a computer function and where do those parts come from. I know none of that. If you guys know in the comments, that would be great to know. But in terms of 99% of the things, how they're made, I don't know. And maybe that's not a good thing, because I should probably know how things work and all that. But I know a lot of you don't know how, you know, ships work, how they're able to fly off into space and not fall down to the ground. And yeah, that's pretty much the entire thought. Just how are things made? Especially from the ground up. Even more crazy than that. But that concludes shower thoughts. Yeah, there's not much to this video. I want to record a video. I know, because it's been pretty busy, kind of, because school started up again. And I just wanted to post a video on the weekend. But more videos will be coming soon, guys. It's just a lot of things going on. But we'll get through it. That's about it. See ya.